Welcome to the Indian Head Division, Naval Surface Warfare Center, and College of Southern Maryland's Save the Bay Robotics Challenge. This program introduces upper-level elementary and middle school students to the many problems facing the Chesapeake Bay as a result of its surrounding population and industry. The Save the Bay competition is comprised of 4 main categories: robotics competition, research, teamwork, and a technical interview. Each of the 4 categories will be worth 25% of the overall score. The robotic challenges will all be performed on a 4-foot by 8-foot board. For each task, the robot must begin completely inside its home base area, complete each task autonomously, and then return to its home base. 5 points will be deducted for each time the robot is handled outside of home base. There are 8 robotic challenges. 1, clean up the power plant. 2, deliver oysters to the bay. 3, remove invasive species. 4, prevent land erosion. 5, prevent algae blooms. 6, upgrade water treatment plants. 7, scan for polluters and tag. 8, remove sediment from the bay. The first challenge is clean up the power plant. Power plants, which create the energy required to power our homes and businesses, also create exhaust gases. These gases, over time, can damage the environment surrounding the power plant. To reduce the harmful emissions of power plants, engineers and scientists have developed exhaust scrubbers. To succeed and receive 80 points, the robot must place a scrubber on top of the power plant smokestack. The second challenge is deliver oysters to the bay. Researchers have found that oysters provide a natural source for cleaning pollutants within the bay. Over the years, the number of oysters within the bay has decreased dramatically. To help increase oyster population, each team's robot must deliver 12 oysters from home base to a designated oyster region. Using the light sensor, the robot can follow a black line to help direct it to the oyster circle. 5 points are awarded for each oyster placed completely within the oyster circle, for a possible total of 60 points. The third challenge is remove invasive species. New species of marine life introduced to the bay can sometimes change the biological balance. For this challenge, 3 fish are placed on the board slightly offset from one another. The middle fish is colored differently from the other 2 and represents an invasive species. The goal is to push the middle fish at least 1 inch without touching the other 2 fish. If either of the other 2 fish is moved, no points are given. This challenge is worth 40 points. The fourth challenge is prevent land erosion. As erosion occurs, the land lost becomes sediment on the water floor, changing the environment within the bay. In this challenge, the robot must take 2 barriers and place at least 50% of each barrier within the designated area. Teams can again take advantage of the black lines to guide the robot to the drop-off area. The placement of 50% of each barrier within the designated area is worth 20 points for a total score of 40 points. The fifth challenge is prevent algae blooms. As phosphorus is deposited into the bay, an increase in algae blooms occurs. Algae blooms block the sunlight from reaching the plant life within the bay. Even after the blooms die, they continue to take away oxygen as they decompose. In the fifth challenge, the robot must remove all 16 of the green circular Lego pieces representing algae blooms and place them either on land or bring them back to home base. For each of the 16 algae blooms that are removed successfully, 2 points are given for a total of 32 possible points. The sixth challenge is upgrade a water treatment plant. Water treatment plants treat wastewater and return it to the bay or a connected river. The less contaminants within the treated water released, the healthier the water system. In this challenge, a filter system must be brought from home base to the exit drainage location of the water treatment plant. The filtration system must completely block the drainage point and have a separation distance of less than 1 inch between the filter and the drainage point. A successful attempt is worth 70 points. The 7th challenge is scan for polluters and tag. Both local farms and industry provide many needed items, such as food and other products that we rely on every day. However, during the production process of these foods and products, many forms of waste can exist, including fertilizer runoff and various wastes from production plants. In this challenge, 3 Lego posts will be placed in different locations on the board. One of the posts will be different than the other 2. The robot must identify the different post and either move it or knock it down. If either of the other 2 posts are altered, no points are given. A total of 130 points are awarded for the completion of this mission. The 8th challenge is to remove sediment from the bay. As land erosion occurs, the eroded soil settles on the bay and river floors, making them shallower and altering the habitat. For some areas, a solution is to dredge the river. In this challenge, the robot must push the 5 Lego blocks representing eroded soil out of the water and either push them to land or bring them back to home base. 5 points will be given for each Lego block properly removed from the water. A maximum score of 25 points can be achieved. In addition to the robotics challenge, the 3 additional challenges include research, teamwork, and the technical interview. For the research challenge, each team must select and study one of the 8 robotic challenges. Students must investigate what is currently performed to address the problem in the bay related to that challenge, create a better solution, and develop a 5-minute video to present their concept. During the teamwork challenge, each team will be presented with an undeclared task in front of a panel of judges. The judges will examine how each member interacts as a team to complete the task. 5 minutes will be provided for each team to complete the presented task. The last challenge is the technical interview, where the judges will evaluate the construction and programming of each robot. In addition, these judges will ask each team to demonstrate the robot as it performs one of the 8 tasks. 25 points are possible from each of the 4 categories: robotics challenge, research, teamwork, and technical interview, for a maximum of 100 possible points. Prior to competition, each team should practice for the event by simulating the 3 minutes allowed for each robotics challenge. Members should rehearse starting and aligning the robot, replacing attachments, and selecting different programs. Each member should study their research project thoroughly, so they're able to answer questions from judges during the competition. And be sure their robot and software are neat and organized. The judges will develop a first impression based on how well the material is organized and presented. For the teamwork challenge, figure out what professional courtesy is and what it means to work as an effective team. The sponsors and organizers of this event wish everyone an enjoyable experience, both preparing for the event and during the competition.